My question today is, what are you afraid of? What is your biggest fear? What keeps you from doing what you want to do, becoming what you want to be now? Why are you waiting? What are you afraid of? Now, if you think about your fears, oftentimes your fears are based on things that you really have never experienced. You've never died. You've never maybe had an operation. You've never lost something that was valuable. You've never been just cast out as being nothing. But you feel that's what's going to be the reality. And you feel that once it occurs, it's just going to, just devastate you to the point where you can do nothing. And so you would rather maintain yourself in a sense of lack than to press forward and overcome your fears. Now, a fear that is conquered becomes a strength. And we all have fears. There's nothing wrong with feeling a fearful sense and knowing that you're still alive and you can overcome it. But if you let fear paralyze you, making you less than you already are, then you need to deal with that because it won't go away by itself. It won't dissipate. It will only fester and become more of a presence in your life and bring you down to your ruin. Now, when I was young, I was afraid to drive because I was in a car accident as a passenger, and I was so afraid of what happened, even though I really wasn't hurt. Just was so startled by it. I said, "Man, I'll never drive because I don't want it to happen to me." But yet and still, I remained a passenger in cars for many years. So was I saying that I was willing to, die in a car crash if I wasn't driving? So I had no control. So once I took control and started to learn how to drive, I realized that the fear was still going to be there with me as a passenger, but it wasn't going to control me. And the more you think about things in a sense of overcoming them, the more you can deal with them when they become part of your reality. And so as a driver, I've been in accidents, I've had flat tires, I've ran out of gas, I've been lost, everything that you can possibly think of. The car was in, it started to catch fire, many things. But I was able to use my wits and overcome the fear because the reality set in, and I told myself, I'm not going to live this fear picture. It's not going to overtake me. I'm not going to allow it to become my reality. And so I think that in life, what you need to do if you're going to go into anything that is new and there is some fear involved, you need to look at the scenarios. You need to look at what may occur and extrapolate to the highest point. And then say to yourself, okay, I have taken to this highest point of fear, and now I'm going to deal with it. And when you deal with it, you start to say to yourself, okay, let's say, for example, your biggest fear was losing your job. And so you came to work one day and they said, you know what, we decided to downsize. Starting with you, you're fired. You're out of here. And we can't afford to give you severance pay. You can get your last paycheck, and you're, good luck. Go find a new job. You say to yourself, well, this is a good job. I'm not going to be able to find a job in this economy. And so now I'm going to lose my car. I'm going to lose my apartment. I'm going to lose all of my utilities, cell phone, things that I need. I'm just going to be out in the street begging for change, basically. So now that's going to be the high point of your fear. So you say to yourself, okay, I'm out on the street begging for change. Where would I go? There are people who actually beg for change for a living. They've been doing it for years. So how would I become the best mannequin? That's the word you use for a person who begs for change. How would I become the ultimate? Where would I go? Would I go under a bridge? Would I go on an overpass, an on-ramp? Would I go into the subways? What would I do? how would I become the best at that particular task to get me back to my state where I can get an apartment and maintain my life. And you can have fun with it. You can laugh at it because you know what? It will never occur. But since you've gone that stretch of your imagination and you've really imagined yourself in that total state of depravity and you overcame it, you can deal with anything. And that's what it's all about. It's about looking at things in the way of always having control. Let's say you wanted to go into your boss's office tomorrow and ask for a raise. And you say to yourself, well, I know they're not giving out raises. He's going to just tear me down. And he might even say, raise, you're fired. But let's take it to its highest stage and say to yourself, I'm going to go in there and knowing that he may fire me, this is what I'm going to say anyway, because it's that important. So how would I preface myself? How would I prepare myself to enter into this fear state, knowing that my ultimate goal is to win? How do you do it? And you go through the scenario. You think about what you say, how your decorum would be, how your posture would be, everything. You would rehearse it, knowing that it's going to be okay. And again, you got your second plan, right? If you're fired, you can go out and beg for change. But the point is, you have your plan set in motion. And I think that when you live your life thinking about what your next step's going to be and how you're going to overcome things that you are afraid of, then you're not always going to be so afraid of the future because you have a sense of controlling it. If you lose your job, if you lose an ability, like if you go blind or deaf or if you're crippled, whatever the case may be, you think about scenarios, you think about people who you know or know of who overcome these things, and you say, you know what, if they can do it, then I can do it. Because think about it, anything that you have can be taken away. Your health, your position, a spouse, a sibling, a parent. And if you don't prepare for it, if you don't think about how you're going to deal with it, put yourself in that particular mindset, then when it comes, you're just unprepared and you're just devastated. But by knowing that it will come, that it will occur, and how do you deal with it? How do you deal with waking up knowing this person's no longer in your life for any reason, or knowing you don't have this job or you don't have this ability for whatever the cause? By doing that, it gives your life more of a sense of empowerment, and you're able to go forth knowing that you've seen both sides, and when it arrives, you're ready for it. It's sort of like buying insurance. People buy life insurance, car insurance, auto insurance, whatever, and they hope that they never have to use it, but they know that if that thing does occur, they're covered. Well, give yourself future insurance for all things you're trying to do by using scenarios, going to the highest extreme, just having fun with it, extrapolate, just use your imagination and understand that it'll probably never occur at that point. But if it does, you've already been there in your mind and you know exactly what to do. And that will put you ahead of most people because we basically live our lives like we go into a buffet. We kind of just eat what's in front of us instead of choosing what we want and enjoying it. We tend to just let things come to us and we end up just, it's a mess. Okay, so do that. Think about the future. Think about what may happen. Take it to a next level. Go to its highest extrapolation of just fantasy, and just see if you can focus on what you know you can do, and then come back to yourself in the present state and saying that I'm okay, that I can talk to that person. I can ask for that raise. I can ask that person out on a date. I can start this project. I can lose this weight. I can become a doctor, whatever you want, because you've seen it in your mind. You've gone through scenarios that may put you down, and you've come out much stronger. That's where you live your life on purpose. Thank you.